Unhinged Lounge. We're going to call this the Unhinged Lounge. And we're having drinks here again with Mr. Bill Noble.
Toby, hi. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again. It's been what? A whole
A week. It has
Did
been.
you miss me?
I did. We want to welcome everybody who's out there. We can't see the comments as of now, but we hope you can see us.
I hope so. But if not, we'll just have
We'll just have a great talk, right?
Exactly. And we've got our drinks. I know you have a lovely.
We have our drinks. This is Crypto Happy Hour.
Exactly. And I've lost the screen.
No, we have it here.
Okay, cool.
Great. Oh, Crypto Steph is here. Welcome. Quiet Don. Hi. Okay. So we got some people here. That's good. So we can see them here on YouTube. Appreciate you coming on in. All right.
Nice.
Okay, Toby, what do we what's on tap?
So we talked about a few things last week, and one of the things that I'm super curious about that I feel like we just briefly covered it last week, and I really want to go more into depth is like the ETFs and the institutions coming in, because it does feel like things are happening in an unusual sort of manner, possibly because of that. I mean, it's interesting because it feels like we've kind of been waiting for large scale adoption, but now is that pushing, the public out of the arena? And how do you see that playing out long term?
Okay, good question. Historically, when institutions see the opportunity, they will scoop in and literally, like if you ever seen like these giant whales hoover up the plankton in the nature shows, literally institutions will just come in and wholesale take crypto or any asset that's being panic sold by retail, by small investors, right?
Or maybe not even, panic sold, but like here in Austin, what we've seen in Arizona, where I used to live, Scottsdale, with the real estate prices, because the institutions came in hard and heavy in buying up that. And it's like, it feels like sometimes there's too much to fight against, like one thing that we saw here in Austin was, when these people would come in and make an offer on a house, that was over and above the asking price, some people would sell out of greed, but there were like some home sellers who were like, no, we want to sell it to an individual. And this has been going on for quite a few years. So it was kind of a way to take back the power. Do you see there's anything that we could do to kind of
take back the power?
Yeah, it's because I feel like we're in this hard spot. Like we want widespread adoption, and this adds to that, but we're losing some of the sexiness of the
rebelliousness of crypto.
Yeah, I mean that's why I got excited about it. That it was outside the mainstream, and so how do you see a good way of balancing that? That's number two. Question number two.
Okay, so this feels like, how do we stick it to the suits?
Yeah.
Okay, so how you stick it to the suits starts with, I think it starts with Solana, right? It starts with everything institutions can't rationalize buying.
Okay.
Pepe, with maybe even Doge, right? In other words, if big memes became money, I can't see BlackRock. I can't see Larry Fink wearing a whiff hat. I can't see it.
Oh, that would be fun though.
That
we
would
should
be.
Send him one.
Yeah, well, it would probably move really hard on that. All right, so the meme culture, I think, is the way to push back.
Do you? Okay. We touched on this again. Last week, because I'm not such a big fan of the meme coins, but I see the potential. Like we were talking about the protesters, the student protesters,
Right.
and how maybe if they could have a meme coin, or the political tokens, if that was some sort of a vote. But I think we're really early stage there. So how do you see like just getting in the meme coins? Because one of the problems I see with it, this is why I'm asking how you see that as a rebellious act. It's that there's no staying power with them. I mean, yeah, we have Doge, which kind of accidentally became hugely popular. But most times you get into a meme and you just write it to the top and then sell and get out.
Right.
So that doesn't seem to have any kind of permanent
Right.
way of
Value.
sticking it to the man. Yeah, it's almost like everybody's just in it for themselves, right?
Right. So, and sometimes in order to innovate, you first have to have excess, right? And excess is, of course, maybe to any pure crypto fan or techie can be embarrassing, but you have to use your imagination and research. It's going to go beyond dogs and cats, right? And then if that doesn't work, there's always Ethereum. Everyone's like, oh, I want an Ethereum ETF. Do you? I want a big cap crypto outside the system.
That's great. I like that. I like that thinking. I think we agree to disagree on the whole meme coin thing. I don't think we've reached that level of evolution, but it would be very exciting. Um, so you don't want to see an ETF.
I would like to see Ethereum go to 5,000 on its own. Maybe that's a dream. Okay. Ethereum did it last time. The base network is out there, allowing for easy Ethereum trading.
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum didn't perform in the first part of the cycle. Maybe I'm a boomer, but I have a hard time seeing how you're going to have a major crypto adoption upcycle without Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum can be used to run a decentralized internet in many ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we saying we don't need that? So, I would love to see Ethereum rise to the point where the institutions were almost forced to chase it. Like BlackRock is getting in now, right? Okay. They're hoovering it up now. But I would kind of like to see the man have to pay 5,000 for Ethereum.
Well, if BlackRock's already in it, then do you think it's too late?
No, because Ethereum is where it was, is actually below where it was when the FTX and Celsius crisis started last year.
Okay.
So
you think hold on Bitcoin, but maybe everybody gets together and pushes Ethereum through? What about Solana?
No, Solana's going to lead.
I was going to say, I'm a big Solana lover.
Solana's going to lead. Make no mistake about it, right? I mean, it's a phone company. It's the gateway. You can call it what you want. You call it the casino.
Meme coin casino.
It's like a retail hope beacon. Like, I'm in a couple of like meme coin Telegram groups. I've seen guys do like $5 buys because there's no transaction fee on Solana, right?
Okay, yeah.
So this thing about Solana allowing for like the super little guy to participate, whereas Larry and BlackRock can pay whatever gas is on ETH, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Right, but the little guy comes in through Solana.
Yeah, and I think that's why I really like Solana. So I see Solana being more that outlier that maybe won't get hoovered up quite so much. But let's just say, so let's just talk like from a portfolio position, right? I mean, you got to have those top three, at least that's what I believe, right? But something that I feel is getting a lot of attention, but maybe not enough attention, is the layer twos. I think there's so much room for growth and expansion into layer twos.
Okay.
because they add more functionality. They get rid of transaction fees, so they keep the costs low. They make it less expensive. What do you think as far as layer twos go?
Well, there's base in that ecosystem for Ethereum.
I love base.
Right.
Yeah.
Optimism is also connected to base.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that there's a protocol called Omni that will somehow aggregate all these different layer twos, right? So we're not all over the place. The big one in Bitcoin seems to be STX.
Yeah.
I think these guys who are doing these ordinals, runes,
Oh yeah,
all this stuff
Super
underneath
excited about
Bitcoin,
that. Yeah.
I actually think they're forcing the bigger players like Sailor to adopt and build layer 2 Lightning things on top of Bitcoin. The market is saying, you know what, guys, if you don't want to build something on Bitcoin, we'll build a casino.
Yeah.
Right. And these ordinals, these things about inscribing things on Bitcoin, rare Satoshis, that's almost like a collectibles market.
Yeah, it feels a bit more like the NFT market or closer.
Right.
To it. Just a different way of doing it. And a lot of them are, of course, associated with NFTs as well. The ordinals are.
Sure.
So, in the runes anyway. Okay. I'm just playing along this line of stick it to the man. Like, what do we do?
What else can we do to stick it to
What
the
do we
man?
do? Buy Solana. Get into layer 2.
Get a Solana phone.
Yeah.
Get a
Solana.
Get a Solana phone and use it.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, adoption isn't someone else's job.
Yeah.
Right. Pull the Bitcoin off the exchanges. Make them pay up for the Bitcoin. Make somebody buy MicroStrategy. Secure your assets. Okay. And I think the other thing that you can do to stick it to the man is people are going to hear about Bitcoin or crypto from one of two places. They're going to hear about it through some financial advisor or BlackRock, because why all the ninnies were selling, BlackRock was having a huge conference.
Yeah.
So they're going to hear about it from them, or they're going to hear about it from Unhinged Crypto or whoever's watching out there, right? They're going to hear it from you personally.
Yeah.
So,
now
tell your friends.
Yeah. So that's really, really interesting, because I probably have a lot more friends who are curious about crypto, but aren't in it. I feel like, hey, it's been around a while,
Right.
And so I guess we haven't got to that point yet. That, I don't know, nobody trusts me, maybe. Well, maybe you have more people who trust you.
Well, there's what brings people into something like this, right? Fun, right? Like, for example,
well, let's talk about fun.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I knew you would like fun better than, my other choice.
Fun and.
I mean, the government is talking about closing down the TradFi. The legacy markets have a derivatives market where you can bet on, election outcomes, political outcomes. Yeah. Even though it's overseas based, guess what? Uncle Sugar doesn't like it. So if you want to play the game and, play who's going to win or who's going to win the debate or whatever, that's crypto.
Yeah, the meme coins are really fun about that. I know you did your report. I saw it.
Right. You're one of the 7 people who read it. Right? Thank you if you're out there. Let me see who else is here on that note. Let me just check who's here. Okay. Again, Crypto Steph, Quiet Dawn, Kevin is here. Welcome.
Thanks for checking that. I'm so far away from the computer. I did bring my glasses. Anybody wants to see how cute I look in these? There, now I can read it almost.
Here, let me just check in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, just checking to see if they can hear us out there in live TV land.
Okay, So finish your thing. You said fun, and why do people get into crypto?
Well, because they realize they need a different form of money, right?
How many people do you think realize that? Because I think people don't. That's scarier.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Edward Snowden published something today that says prices at McDonald's are up like 100% over like a 3 or 4 year period.
Thank God I don't eat there.
Right. And, package shrinkage goes on daily.
Oh, I've seen that in restaurants. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so, at some point, people are going to say, I've had enough. Right. Like, what do people do when they've said they had enough? I don't know. They make a lot of noise. They make a protest. They build an encampment. There's another way to do it. Right. And, what has to happen before they figure that out? I don't know. But the United States is born on kind of an economic, no taxation without representation. I'm not saying that that's necessarily what's happening now, but
no,
it's in our
rebels.
DNA.
Yeah.
Right. It's in our DNA to say, you know what? No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Right. And then there's also the idea of come Christmas, how do they lure in disgruntled consumers?
Yeah. You talked about that last year.
Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant idea. The more that gets adoption, I think that that'll be easier. Make it more acceptable.
Walmart taking
don't like Walmart either.
I know, but like somebody taking some kind of.
I say Amazon. But
so
yeah.
Well, they're getting involved. There's a pre-sale going on for Amazon.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some people coming in via Twitter here.
Okay.
We have Zeus, Trisha Elliott. All right, she's going to get a report. We appreciate that. Gravity is here. Welcome. Right. Up only, cup and handle breaking. Right on. Cup and handle. It's Toby's like, I think this chart has a cup and handle. I'm like, look at you reading charts. Check you out.
Well,
and you're into you can talk about that when you want. If you want.
Go ahead.
No, you've got the secret, you've got your own little method with the bubble charts.
I do.
I can share that quick so that we don't leave everybody in total suspense, right?
Oh, banter bubbles.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And you make money at it too, they say, or something, not money, but they pay you to use it.
Right. So it's really interesting.
I'm not an affiliate. I just like looking at the pictures. I'm a visual person because I'm an artist.
So, you can look at this, and again, we don't
look at Whiff there.
Yeah, look at them after this, huh?
Oh, Wild.
Right.
That's one of my favorites.
They're after Whiff. They're after Wild. Look at Render, huh? Just in case you think AI is dead, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Render, that was something that I was looking at earlier this year. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Render.
Render's on our hot list. So yeah, I mean that's AI, like AI. Before the show, we talked about AI, real world assets, or DeFi.
I think, yeah. So my prediction is, like right now, DeFi. I'm big into that. I think that's layer 2s and DeFi are probably what are going to explode more. Gaming is starting to come in. There's a few that I'm looking at, but I don't think it's even hit its stride yet. So that'll all be sorted out. It's good to go in with some of the earlier adopters. The technology isn't completely there yet, but it's, like Guild of Guardians is one that I like.
Yeah. So, Unhinged Patreon. So don't forget to check the link down below. A lot of people in the stream are probably in the Patreon, but if you're not,
probably.
Come check it out. There is a gaming report in the store. I think when it comes down to gaming and metaverse, like there was a news article today about how like corporations are adopting this Apple headset.
Yeah.
right? Sure, that's like a computer on your face and then some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I keep saying the market will vote for freedom eventually. And the market, I think, as a natural force, is going to allocate capital to a decentralized version of the metaverse or NFTs or gaming or things like that. Because, there was another article today that, the revenue or the profits of like the 5 biggest tech companies,
Mhm.
It's epic. And we haven't even gotten to AI and robots yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the crypto market is going to give you a chance, to get in really early, because I don't think, as you said, people have woken up to the fact that not only do we need a different form of money, but do we really want our lives in the hands of these guys? I don't know.
Well, yeah, and there we go too. I mean, getting in early so that we have some control, I think, is a really good idea. And I like that there's, excuse me, I like that there's so many things out there that continually evolve the decentralization process. Um, I'm always getting things about it just like strange things in my emails. I'm trying to think of the most recent one, and I'm always like, "Oh, that looks so interesting." Like there's these things that farm in the background of your computer every time you're on it. I
Right.
can't think of any
No,
of the names.
it's
Sorry.
decentralized physical infrastructure, DPIN.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lend your computing power.
Yeah.
For passive income.
Yeah, and so I think that's good.
Yeah, well, Render, that's the niche that.
Well, I love Render.
That's the niche that Render is in. Render was up 10%, and we talked before the show about this. It's like, after you have the forest fire burn down, whatever plants start shooting up out of the ash, those are the super plants.
Oh, that's all I've been looking at. It's my little bubble thing.
Right.
Right. It's like it's the best time. I'm probably one of the few people in crypto that's really excited about what's going on now, because when it's a bull market, everything's going up. You can't sort out what's good. When bear market comes around, that's when you see those resilient little baby trees shooting up, and you want to be an early adopter. That's what I look for. I'm not a meme coin person. I think we talked about this before. I'm a hodler, so I'm always looking for what are those deals that I'm going to make dividends on in 2 to 3 years, instead of the cycle with meme coins is like 2 to 3 months. It's hard for me to get excited about that. I know you get a lot more excited about it. To me, it's very stressful. So let's go back to the thing about fun, why people get into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about your idea of why crypto is fun.
Why crypto is fun. I'm not sure I can answer that after what's recently happened with the market.
I knew it. This is a trick question.
I was like, this is a trick question.
This was a trick question. You said it, and that's why I keep wanting to come back to it.
It's like,
because I know.
I mean, I think crypto is fun when you understand it first, and then you get to kind of just watch it fly, right?
That's a bull market,
right? Well, that's
so you're only happy during bull markets.
I think the other thing that's fun about crypto is that the only way people really learn it is watching how it moves. Right. In other words, like, oh, I'm going to go get a book on crypto.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to somebody.
No, play.
Appreciate you listening. We love you. But you got to put the money in. Like my brother just put money in. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to see what happens. It's kind of like a page turner novel, right? You're a writer, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen next?
Mhm.
You know, the unemployment number is going to come out, or there's going to be some event, and gee, I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Right now, if your $100 turns into 60, that's not as fun.
Mhm.
But if you can stomach that, right, you don't realize it, but you become stronger.
Mhm.
Seriously, right? You become stronger. And when it starts going your way, you can be like, yeah, I'm a hodler. You know what I'm saying? Like, it went down in my face, but I didn't puke my Bitcoin at 57.
Yeah.
Now it's back at 64.
Yes.
Solana's about to go up only.
Yay!
Right.
I love
So,
my Solana.
and even if you puked it at the low,
Uh-huh.
if you bought the high and sold the low, you have something in common with every single trader. That's even the best ones, because
Yeah.
they've all done it.
Yeah.
And school's not always fun, but at the end you get a diploma. In crypto, eventually you make it.
Mm.
Eventually you make it.
I think there's a type of mentality to surviving in it and not puking. Like you should meditate or
Well, yeah, the crypto bros should touch grass, play singing bowls, go to yoga. Right. You gotta do something. I mean,
Yeah.
part of what gets me up in the morning, and what helps overcome frankly the stage fright, which people may be shocked to know, but it's like there's people on the other end of the microphone
Mm-hmm.
that they need guidance,
Mm.
right? They need help.
Yeah.
And I just I talk to this thing, and I don't actually know what happens when it's.
I don't even remember it's there.
I don't know when once you hit the off button, you don't know what's going on with people, right? You don't
Yeah.
know if it's helping them or not. But I get up every day and I go, okay, the market update is about helping people,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's about helping people. So is the Patreon. So is this show.
Yeah. It's good that you have that mindset. So you have stage fright.
Oh, terrible.
Really?
Terrible. Like the energy of the show, right? Like when I go, we are live. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. Just like, that's like a giant exhale. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, yeah, it's terrible.
It's interesting. You have a whole different voice than you do when I'm interviewing you. So there's like the performer voice. It's like, it does feel like you're putting on a bit of a persona when you do that.
Well, I mean, that's possible, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going with the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's fueled by the nervous energy.
Yeah.
Whereas, we have, whatever is in this that the show host is serving up, it's chill, right? But the market update is
call. It's a little smoky sweet.
Yeah. I mean, whereas the market update is like literally there's a PowerPoint that goes with it. And I swear the last chart is going in 1 minute before we hit the air.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, enough of my wham, but the market update is driven by nervous energy.
That's so
interesting. And the desire to help people.
That's good. And that's probably where a lot of the anxiety comes from, is that you put a lot of pressure on yourself, to help people, Whereas like this show, I don't have a lot of stage fright. It's a weird thing about me. I've been this way for a really long time. I can get up in front of huge crowds and just talk, and I don't, because I don't really care. And that's probably the difference. I mean, I care about y'all. Thank you for being here. We love that you're here. But I don't feel that pressure to have to, take care of people, that you feel when you go on the show. I mean, I think that's a beautiful thing that you have such a caring heart. For me, I just want to entertain people. Are we having fun? That's all I care about.
Please comment down below if you're having tons of fun. Right.
Less pressure.
Hit that like button for that unhinged crypto group that's starting out there.
And I'm a bit unhinged, so that's why it's called Unhinged Crypto. I do things differently. Tarot cards, singing bowls.
Yeah, don't forget the gongs, right?
I know.
right?
Maybe I'll have to do a show. We'll do, because I did it for you before,
Right.
the bowls and the gongs, and do like a stress meditation to help people through the bear market and shift their energy into something more positive.
Yeah, well, sign me up for that because I don't think I'm exactly 100% over
You're still
that last debacle. You know what I'm saying?
I actually feel my sense is that we're close to the end of it. I mean, normally, what do you say? Sell in May
And go away.
until there's not a second half to that. Go away until when? I mean,
I don't know. Some people say June or July.
yeah.
Some people say August. I don't know.
So they never tell you when to come
Well,
back.
the stock market has it's part of the stock market lore. I mean,
Sell in May, just
a
go away.
lot of times in crypto,
Don't come back.
Crypto, it was sell in August. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Obviously, it was sell in April.
Yeah.
I'm doing DCA in May. In other words, just like grab it when it's down.
Mm.
But
yeah, I sort of feel like we're going to be a bit sideways for a while. I know you asked me about if we were going to hit what was the low? I picked 48 for Bitcoin.
Yeah, you discussed 48 in Bitcoin, and
I don't think we're going to hit it though.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and
if we do, you're probably going to be talking to somebody else here. Charging paddles. Poof,
let's not go.
Yeah, let's not.
We're back. We're in the fun part.
The fun part. I said the fun part.
Hey, drink more.
Drink more. Okay. Drink more.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I feels like it's going a little sideways for a while, and I don't know. I think earlier this year, I thought maybe sometime in the summer, be interesting.
Well, this to me, this goes back to what you said about the bear market, right? I mean, we're clearly in some kind of, oh my God, revulsion phase, even for the people who liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like people just got that hurt. So yeah, you are going to have 45 days to go pick something, to go find something that, went from 100 million market cap to 20, or a thing that was a 20 million market cap that went to 5.
Yes, this is, like you said, that's what's exciting about this time, and it's hard for me to understand the psychology behind, getting so upset and getting wrecked. For me, the whole thing is to find good times to buy in projects you believe in, and then just hold them and not care about these, the cycles so much, or do like the gambling philosophy is, when you've doubled, take out your initial investment,
Right.
There's all kinds of interesting strategies like that to help you survive all of it. But I do think because of the Wild West of the early days, there's a lot of people who are just surfing around looking for 100x and getting beat up, instead of investing in, like last year I met the guys at Solana, fell in love with the stuff that they're doing, and I'm like, I'm in, and so it can go up and go down, doesn't matter, because I still believe in the project,
Well, a lot of people probably got in late, right? People, if you jumped on Solana at 200 and then
so you bought the high, but 10 years from now, are you going to care?
No, but people in crypto, look, the most excusable thing is to buy the high, because people come into crypto with a sense of hope.
Yeah,
I want to quit my day job. But what happens is, people's emotions can get the better of themselves, right? That intense disappointment, if you FOMO in, and then they literally, I don't know. I did a video. It's like, this is one of the hardest things I've ever been through in markets, right? It's so shocking that the institutions came in, and then this thing just totally fell out of bed like that. So, you can say, and frankly, if you're fully invested, your mentality is the way to go. It's like, look, where's Polkadot going to be in 2 years?
Oh, I love my polka dot.
Right. You love
Another
your
one of my
Polkadot.
favorites.
Some guy was asking in the Patreon about Polkadot.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right. So, it's so Quiet Dawn says, don't ever doubt yourself.
Oh,
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. We rock a little bit more of the vulnerable side here on Happy Hour, but
we're not performing. We're just chatting.
I also think there's like everyone thinks everyone else is making money, so that when they lose, there's this whole like, I'm the only guy in the diner that's not making money in crypto, and that's probably not true.
No, I think probably way more people are losing money in crypto.
Right.
Especially if they're listening to you.
Sell in May and go away next year, people.
Yeah. So again, this is a very exciting time for me. I'm excited. It's it's a sideways market. That's great. Sideways markets are good because you can find the performers. That's what you look for. The little mushrooms popping up in the dirt after the forest fire, or the seedlings, whatever you call it.
Right, and that is literally like
I have a thing with the mushrooms.
Yeah,
they're delicious.
Mushrooms
and nutritious.
Are very popular these days. They're very popular. They are very popular and probably necessary in crypto. When we go to consensus, and be like, wrecked mushroom. Here we go.
Ashwanda.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Reishi.
That's right. Let's pass me one of those. I think the market is doing exactly what it did in October, except it's doing it a little slower.
In October last year?
Yeah, like when the bull market started, right? You had whole groups running at once. You'd have a sector and it would run, right? And then another group would run. Right. This time, because it's, post a wound, right? It's only like one or two coins moving, right? Like first it was the big memes, 3 or 4 big memes that stopped. Then it was AI, right? Render, etc. A couple of DeFi coins went, but it's not broad based yet. It's only like, it's very select.
Yeah, that's good. That gives us a chance to pick out the good ones.
If you're good with the bubble charts. Right, if you're good
Love
with that,
my bubbles.
If you're good with that, and you
Champagne
can see
and bubble charts. That's my Sunday morning brunch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's that's you have bougie tastes versus me, right? You have bougie. Hodlers can always, they can ride out the storms. Us infantry guys. I don't know, man.
You're a stormtrooper, Bill. That's what you are.
Yeah.
A little bit badass.
Talking every day. Talking every day is actually a badge of honor. Right.
I don't think I could do it. I mean, I'm working towards that. That's what you're trying to, encourage me to do. And my biggest thing is I'm like, I don't know, who wants to listen to me talk?
Well, I just kind of make him listen. Like I just blurt at him. I was like, these short videos.
I can only do that with tequila.
Stop scrolling. Listen to me about Solana, the one coin market. That's the way you have to talk to him. It can't be.
I don't know.
Just make him stop. Make him stop scrolling.
Maybe I'll do a show with the bubbles. Should I do a champagne and bubbles?
Yeah. I mean, actually, we should probably bring that.
Would you help me?
I would.
You love the bubbles.
Listen.
You don't use the bubbles. You're kidding.
No. I don't use them, but I know you know how to use them, right? I mean, people think that like reading charts, like one of the greatest things that you could probably give people in crypto, is everyone's like, these guys all sell indicators, systems, shows by belittling people by saying, oh, you're a moron. You're not going to do well in this unless you buy my blah, 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 blah. And what I tell people is that, everyone has to have their own way of understanding the market.
Yeah.
Right. It's this whole thing about, oh, I'm an expert. There's no expert. There's only the way you understand it. Now, I happen to think it's super cool that, rather than it's completely different from what I do, you look at the bubbles and go, oh, look, I like this bubble. You know, that to me, given your intuitive abilities, listen, I'll take that over these market cipher gizmo guys any day of the week, right? So,
Well, systems can break down, right? And I mean,
right.
I'm a big believer in intuition. I also look at the project and decide if I like it. But a big thing for me is like, oh, that's really cool. I just like things that are cool. If it makes sense to me and it looks cool, and then the bubbles I use to feel trends in the market, it shows me the trends. Like I think I was talking to you earlier this week and saying, here's DeFi and gaming. I kept seeing all of them popping up in the ashes of the burnt down forest fire, and I'm like, these are the ones to look at, because that for me, that shows me what's really trending, and then it's just the project. If I don't understand it or I don't like it, then I, you know, I won't put money into it. I wouldn't recommend it. I only like the cool factor of things, or the make sense, or oh gosh, we really need that, you know. Like I got excited about all the layer twos when they started coming out because I'm like, oh God, this will just save so much time and energy. And, so I do get excited. It's not just about, although I do like the meme coins that are cute, like Whiff. Loved Whiff for Scoop just because it's cute.
Listen, listen, you said all this a year and a half ago. Buy what you love, buy
Yeah.
what's cute, something to that effect. Who knew that was a prophecy of
Oh,
that whole
Milady, I like.
yeah, Milady. We're still Milady did pop. I mean, that NFT collection is a lot of guys have said that's the real deal.
Mm.
You saw the super cycle, and you're also underscoring it. I think part of what meme mania has done
Mhm.
is it's distracted people away from the tech part of crypto.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's part of my and really my discouragement. It's not that I don't like that I hate memes or the meme coins or anything like that. For me, it's just too much gardening. It's like a fancy orchid rather than, you know, dandelions in your front yard. You got to babysit the coin and watch it go up, and I don't. I just want to find technology I love and, you know, forget about it for a while. I don't want a high maintenance baby.
I think the tech stuff that comes out this round,
It's going to be so good.
right? In other words, I think the venture capitalists sold over the top of everybody in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and they may have done it again recently,
Mm.
where stuff that was really hyped up, as soon as it turned, they unloaded on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the things that could have contributed to the avalanche. So I think investors this time around, believe it or not, retail's actually going to get smarter. Retail's going to be like, you know what? You guys are not dumping this stuff on top of me again. I'm not going to buy stuff where, you can tell, you can look at a coin and tell, if only a portion of those coins are trading and somebody out there is holding a ton of them. It's called fully diluted market cap, blah, blah, blah. This time, I think, the market's going to be very picky, right? And if you can use a chart or bubbles or whatever, seriously, what comes out this time is going to be enduring, right? You're going to get a slow, steady, impulsive, first gradually, then suddenly.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And it's going to be a good year. I can feel it in my bones.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, everyone out there is watching me, and I'm watching the video clips from last time, where you're like, I really don't understand what all the negativity is about.
Yeah.
I'm watching that on my phone as I hide under my desk with my helmet on, going, can't look at this thing anymore. I can't. You're like, really don't understand what all the negativity is about.
Yeah.
So they're listening to me. I'm listening to you. Everyone's got to listen to somebody. Somebody's got to be the voice of reason for crypto buddies. it's actually required. Like they joke around and call it crypto bros, I guess, because it's
We got to change that.
yeah, we got to change
I don't wanna
that.
be a
But
bro.
yeah, you don't fit the description.
I don't.
Don't. But when they say we got to go out and touch grass and stop looking at the screens, and you got to listen. You got to meet a hodler and talk to hodlers, because hodlers are like, yeah, I bought some crypto. I got a tea time, or I'm going out. They're not like,
I got a tequila.
yeah, you got a tequila. Like, hold on, let me check my phone. Let me wake up and check my phone.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's super exhausting.
Right. Some naughty people do that all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do it. I used to have the alerts on my phone all the time, and I would just be like, oh, this is so annoying. And I don't have alerts for anything on my phone. Sometimes I don't even have the phone rings.
Well, yeah. Well, that's I mean, sometimes William Gann said you can't look at the market all the time.
Yeah.
You can't, especially as a 24/7 market. Sometimes you just need to shut it off and walk away. I know guys who do that. I know guys who are on it 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Sometimes you just take a day off and play video games. I mean, I know that's not, that's not in the health manual, but that's their way of doing it. Sometimes you just got to shut it off. Right.
Yeah. I think that's a really important thing for surviving, right? To have the mindset to survive, you have to go with the flow, kind of a thing, right? If you're constantly on the screen, if you're constantly watching the numbers, you're going to get overwhelmed, and then you're going to get depressed, and you have to let it go. And I think, this is, I don't know if this is a hodler thing, like what you said, but it's like, I believe in the projects that I pick. And so I don't need to babysit them. I'm going to let them grow up into nice, healthy teenagers and adults all on their own. And that's one of the things, like, why I'm not huge on the meme coins. It feels like a lot of babysitting to me. I just want to invest in a project and, let it grow up. And, if it turns out to be something bad, then I'll disown it. But otherwise, we're just one happy, loving family.
Well, I mean, that's something that people in crypto probably have not heard. Right. And that's probably something that they need to hear. Right. It's like,
well, that's why I'm here.
There was
I'm trying to make people feel happy and good about it.
Right. That's why it's crypto happy hour. Right.
That's right. That's why we're drinking.
There was
our beer goggles on.
That's right. Yes.
It all looks better.
Hey, look, I got these goggles that make it all green. Hey, cool. But there were guys that, published the more aggressive version of what you talked about at the lows. Like, hey, where's your conviction?
That's a very masculine way of putting it.
Where is your conviction? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you going to puke everything out and give up?
I hope nobody here doesn't have conviction.
I think whoever's doing the second or third show of the day probably has conviction, right? But
this is your third show of the day.
They get it from us, right?
Really?
I mean, in other words, yeah. Well, I think so. I mean, if we don't believe, if we get on and go, some guys use the YouTube thumbnail, it's over. They get everyone to click on that. I don't use that one.
Oh, thank God.
I don't use that.
I don't like the negative news kind
of
stuff.
A
lot of people do that, to push their ratings and stuff.
Yeah, I don't do that. I mean, I would have preferred to have been more prophetic, to be honest, and seen this a little earlier. Like, I was like, this is going to correct. But,
it did correct earlier than I expected.
Right.
Right. I don't think you were the only one that was caught off guard by that. But
no,
I think predicting the future in crypto is like being a weatherman in Austin or Texas. The saying in Texas is, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change.
Right.
All we've been having is rain. Today the sun came out for just an hour, and I went to the pool. It's like, oh my God, you got to grab that sunshine while it's there.
Right.
But,
Well, I mean,
but I think crypto's the same way. I mean, we know in general here in Austin, this is kind of the rainy time of the year, but still we're in May, so we're like, it shouldn't be raining this much, And so to me, crypto's kind of the same way. We know there's going to be 3 seasons here in Austin. We don't really have winter so much, And when they come and when they leave, it's a little bit different. So I was surprised, when the market started dropping. It was earlier than what I expected. I kind of expected it in May, So, but I think that just means an earlier recovery. People will get tired of it, and it's dropped some, but we're still up over the year, and that's how I look at it, to make myself feel better. It's like, okay, it's down, but where was it a year ago? Where was it 2 years ago? Oh, I'm still good.
Right. Well, people have to remember that Bitcoin was below 16K it was below 20K for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So, that's upsetting if you're Michael Saylor and your average price is 45K.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I always give the example of how much heat he took. In other words, you can't, this is a self lecture too. Yes. You can't be a legend if you can't take a whole bunch of heat.
Yeah.
Right? If they try to shake you out and, if you let them shake you out, I mean, you can go on any motivational Instagram feed and undoubtedly see the saying, pain is temporary. It can last a day, a week, or a year, but quitting lasts forever.
Yeah.
Right. You never, you never get over quitting. And, I'm preaching to my own choir today. It's like, here's the phone, here's the microphone. Okay, time to make a video.
Well, it's got to be.
My mouth is broken. I was like, what I'm saying? I can't say it.
Sideways markets have to be the hardest.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
When market's down, everyone's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the sonar operator says? And when it's going up, it's like, but when it's sideways, it's like
picking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're picking mushrooms. We're looking at the green shoots.
Yeah.
But everyone else is, they're either discouraged.
I think a lot of people are discouraged.
Yeah,
and I think that's unfortunate.
And they just don't want to play anymore. I mean, they don't.
Makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean,
don't do that.
But yeah, don't do that. Right? I mean, that's why, that's why I got to pick up the phone and just, keep blurting positive stuff, right? Keep saying, hey,
wear your cowboy hat.
Yeah, wear the cowboy hat. Solana is
get ready.
Solana is
time to ride the bull.
It is too. Solana's $25 off the low. That's right. You can't. What is it? What does you say? You can't ride the bull with diaper rash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
change your diaper. Put your cowboy hat on.
That's true. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
Right. So inaction or freezing is somewhat natural. Mm-hmm. Right. There's fight, flight, and freeze.
Yes.
Right. Don't flight. Don't run away. And also don't freeze. Like don't be afraid to say, okay, this trade didn't work out, but there's something budding out of the ground. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm going to get on that. Like some dude was asking me, it's like, hey, I had a big position in Polkadot. Should I keep it? Right.
And you said, yeah.
I said,
I love my Polkadot.
Yeah, it's, you're not going to have securities. You're not going to have Wall Street on the blockchain without what they call interoperability and connected, mm-hmm. blockchains all connecting each other, right? It's mm-hmm. not going to happen. And, I know you like to keep it happy, but, these things they're interesting discussion topics right now, mm-hmm. but they're going to become a necessity, right? In other words, there's going to be an urgency. Like, everyone's like, well, how do we get adoption? I mean, do we all walk into the Church of Crypto genuflect and we all adopt? Or is it like we wake up and go, oh, I think we need to adopt right now. Right now. Yesterday, in fact. Right. So, And I know BlackRock and these big guys, that's what they're getting ready from, right? That they didn't.
Oh yeah.
They didn't. I mean, why didn't they do it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, right? They see the reasons why to do it now,
Hmm.
right? And
That's what makes it so exciting.
that is, and you can't.
You have to. You don't want to wear rose colored. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
Go
you,
no
but
no no no.
You don't
no.
want to wear rose colored glasses, right?
You don't. Oh, you don't. Okay.
You don't. No. But when you have a lot of negativity, it's because you're dwelling in the past, right, and not looking for the future. And the only way to survive in crypto, the only reason for getting into crypto is because you believe in a better future, right? I mean, does that make sense?
Yep.
So, or you're there to make a quick buck because you heard somebody, bought Pepe and.
Right. Well, I mean, for some people,
Became
the
a
better
millionaire.
future is to have.
Money is a good part of the better future.
Right.
But the conviction towards actually making a better future for everybody is what I believe in, and making money is great too. Because, money can't buy you happiness, but poverty buys you nothing. So you do not want that.
Right. And Michael Saylor will tell you that about Bitcoin. If you don't have Bitcoin and you have to shop at Costco, good luck staying poor. That's kind of what he says. That's not very nice, but that's the tough way of saying what you just said, right? I mean, you got to believe there's something better out there for humanity. And frankly, I don't know where you're going in this world to be able to, in an efficient way, connect some accounts, push a button, and vote for humanity in crypto. Like
Yeah.
I'm always talking about the green button,
Yeah.
right? The green button is a voting button for many things, for yourself, the larger picture, right? In other words, if you commit capital to something and Mr. Market or Mrs. Market goes, you know what? We agree with you. You got to want what the market wants, like surfing, right? And if the market is a natural force made up of, no matter how many robots there are in the market, it's still driven by people.
Emotions, people,
right?
Psychology.
And
yes.
if people want that better future, it will show up in price. And I always say you can't censor price.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if the market wants it and the capital flows in there, I mean, what are they going to do? Solana, Ethereum, the more of these mechanisms that they have, the more powerful the message that can be sent.
Yeah.
So, the humans can push back here. They can.
Yeah. So we're 10 years in the future. Imagine looking back. What is Bill Noble 10 years in the future?
What am I
going to
doing?
say? No, what are you going to say to yourself now?
What
if you could go back, like imagine you're in the future,
right?
10 years ahead, and you're coming back and you have a message for yourself. I think I might have had more tequila than you. I'm getting really creative here.
Yeah, that's pretty creative. Well, I mean, first of all, 10 years from now, I'll probably be half robot.
Yeah.
So I would probably tell myself to enjoy my natural organic state, before you have to become a Terminator to keep up with everybody else, right? So enjoy the grass, enjoy being organic. Enjoy ChatGPT before ChatGPT starts enjoying you, or whatever they're gonna turn into. I don't know. Everyone's like, "Oh, the sky is falling." I would probably say, "You know what, man? Either the sky isn't full, the sky didn't fall, or you weren't focusing on all the good things." You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a hopeful message.
If you look at Twitter, you'll think it's not good. You won't.
And you spend way too much time looking at Twitter. Is that it? I never look
at
Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the simple message would be to get off Twitter. Like, unfortunately, Twitter has become, first they were, there's like the news that's censored. And then there's just like, I don't know, there's like the raw nasty on Twitter. It's like, dude, get off Twitter. get off Twitter. Do something with your body while your body is still organic. And, Bitcoin's currently trading at $2.5 million. So you're whining because it went to 57. Really? I mean, in the 10-year future, 10 years ago, 10-year,
10 years from now.
bill of the future
Uh-huh.
will say Bitcoin moves $57,000 in a day because the price is so high.
Yeah.
So, you guys crying about a 5% move when, the market gave you years, 6 months to get it below 20K.
Yeah.
How many
I know. I
years?
wish I would have bought more. That's all I think about. All of my regrets are, the last time when it was low, I should have bought more.
Right. But, some sort of futuristic bill would be like, hey, you only have it below 100K for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
some new person's going to have to come in and pay 100. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they're not going to want to, which is why it's going to go to 150. Right. It's just like, that's just how psychology works.
Yes.
When I don't want to, it's like, okay. Well,
yeah. And then it goes up again.
It's going to, yeah. So probably something to the effect of, it's way better than you think it is. There's no crying in crypto. And even if the 10 years from now, maybe it's some sort of like glorified, AI wonderland where it's like Star Trek, where we don't have to worry about money. We can just fly all over the stars, like in Star Trek, or, we're fighting Skynet. I don't know, one or the other. But I think futuristic Bill would probably tell me the same thing that most people tell me now. It's just like, dude, just kind of enjoy it. I mean, who knows? I mean, my goal is that Bill 10 years from now would have a crypto Hall of Fame jacket.
Oh,
right. That we would be considered, that like,
you were the old school who made it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if my channel's big enough for that, right? But that's what I'm trying to do, right? Like baseball players, they don't. I don't necessarily wake up every day and say, let's go to the Hall of Fame, but there is going to be a group of people that was remembered for being in this before everyone else was in it. And that when people needed to figure out what was happening, like the whole normie world is going to turn to a distinctly handful of people to get their information on this.
Yeah.
Like even if BlackRock puts out information, right, and even if it comes from the suits, there's still going to be a lot of people. I mean, do you watch one TV channel? I mean, are you going to watch just BlackRock TV, or are you going to want variety? And are they going to remember the people who sat around and said, hey, bro, touch grass, hodl render? Are they going to remember the Bill Nobles and the Toby Wards and the Wendy O's and, whatever other characters are out there who sat around every day and pounded the table about crypto? And it'll probably be, I don't know, it's like the Wright brothers, right? Like they said that there couldn't be flight. Nobody was ever going to fly. Somebody in 1900 said everything that's going to be invented has already been invented.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Like
somebody said the world was flat. Some
the
people
world
still
was
say
flat.
that today.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's an interesting time to be alive. It's a very interesting time.
I hope I hope futuristic Bill comes back and said, you wound up making a difference.
Oh, that's very sweet.
You mattered to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right. Because it can be easy to just, I don't know, I call it the drift, right? You can just sort of drift from one day to the next, right? You can do that, TV, your phone, scrolling. I'm not going to lie, right? I mean, we're not having this conversation on my yacht. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing has not been a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. But, 10 years from now, when the full story gets told, I want people to know that I stayed in for the love of the game.
That's
right?
good.
Markets matter.
Yeah.
Free markets matter.
That's excellent. Good. Yeah, because there's never a success story where the guy was like, or the woman, and they were born wealthy, everything went perfect, you know, nothing bad ever happened to him. It's a boring fucking story. Sorry. There's the F word. It's boring. It's just boring, right? Every success story is, you know, starts out with a hard luck story, right? And that's what makes it compelling. So, you know, you've been in the trenches, and someday you'll look back and you'll be like, yeah, and I helped a lot of people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there that gave me a chance. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who, you know, there's a couple guys, you know, we're not all best friends now, but, you know, they said, hey, put this guy on TV. Or they said, hey, let this guy write a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, have this guy come on my show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, you don't do it by yourself at all.
And without your
yeah,
Patreon
and without, you know, the
all those
unhinged
people.
crypto faithful out there listening on Twitter and YouTube, just keeping our fingers crossed that I set the stream up the right way. Okay.
We're all learning here.
Right. We got Trisha. Let me see what else we got. Caroline is here. Welcome. Gianni is here. Welcome. Right.
I hope you guys are having fun.
Yeah, we hope you guys have
all
fun.
Of you are having fun.
This is
and if you're in the Patreon group, I'm in the Patreon group too. If you can people message each other in there? I don't comment enough. I'm shy. It's hard to believe.
I think you have to put yourself out there in the chat. I don't think there's like a DM back and forth.
I didn't see it on there either.
Yeah, I don't think people can DM. I don't know if they can DM each other. Honestly, I don't know. I know they can DM, you know, customer service, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe you'll see me there. I'm there all the time. I just don't comment very much because I can be shy about it.
Sometimes. Right, except for Crypto Happy Hour.
I know it takes a little. This is actually kombucha, so it's healthy. But I did have a little tequila earlier. I'm a big tequila fan.
Well, it's Crypto Happy Hour, right?
Wave your hand if you like tequila.
Okay.
Oh, so those of you, look for us at Consensus. You're going to be there.
Right. We're going to be at the Consensus Crypto Conference in May.
Yes.
In Austin.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, it's so close for us.
I'm going to the karate combat thing.
I'm not.
You're not.
Yeah.
That's not your thing.
I don't know. I mean, I may stop by and say hi, but it's not on my bucket list. I'll probably be at a lot of the NFT stuff.
Right. You'll be with the fine artists.
Yes. I'm getting ready to do some more NFTs.
Right. So I understand you paint, right?
Yes, I do.
You
yes.
paint?
Oh, they can't see because we're. No, that's okay.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Oh, okay.
Don't flip the camera around. We'll never get it back right.
Right. We'll never get it right.
We'll do another show and I'll prop with cameras.
Yeah, they'll be. I'm sure you'll have. It's a market prediction. You know, you'll have art. It'll be phygital, where you'll have like buy the NFT to get the art.
Yeah, I've thought about. I mean, I've been working on that for over a year, really. So I'm not sure how I want to do that. We'll see. It's evolving. I mean, most of my pleasure comes from the actual creation of the art. So eventually I run out of wall space and then I just pray somebody buys something. That's how it works.
Okay.
I mean, people like it, so pieces go, but
well,
I'm a hodler when it comes
to
art.
Yeah, you're a hodler of your own art, right?
No, I mean, people say that. People have asked me that before. They're like, do you get upset? I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm dying for people to, you know, if it makes them happy, then I'm happy that I created something that makes people happy. I have a couple pieces that that one's one of my favorites. Although I'm kind of ready to let it go because this new piece that I'm working on, you saw over there.
Yeah.
It's I think it might be my new favorite. They all are. It's like babies.
Right.
You love the first one when they're born.
Well, look for that as the backdrop to.
Yeah.
Who knows? It'll be the backdrop to the show, or.
Yeah, maybe next I can put it up here. So
You know, when
people wanna see.
when I get some meme coin money, maybe I can buy the painting. You know, who knows?
Oh, there are millions.
Right. Millions,
Millions.
millions of dollars. Come on, man.
I'll give you a deal.
Everybody, you know, I've
I'll give
changed.
you
I
a
mean,
discount.
yeah, you will. Yeah, I mean, I'll either pay the meme coin markup or the wrecked markdown. Friends
One
and
of you.
friends and family price.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, did you have fun today?
I did. I appreciate you
Good.
having me.
Good. I think, are we done?
I think
we're
I think
done.
so.
I think we're done. Did we finish?
We did.
We did all right. We did all right.
We did good.
We did all right.
We did good. All right, folks.
Yes, I'm ready for
Right.
Or we got to go.
The host needs to
I
reload.
need to-
Folks, thanks for tuning in.
Bye. Bye.